I'm going to be talking about one of everybody's favorite players, Mr. Steve Vai. And as always, I'm going to be giving you guys the inside scoop as to what I'm doing in the actual improv section and what I think Steve Vai does in a lot of his playing. And I'm also going to be giving you guys a cool little trick using the pentatonic scale, where you can actually play 3 different pentatonic scales over just one chord. So let's get right to it, you guys. Right, so when it comes to the actual scales that he likes to use, he tends to lean towards the major scale a lot. But as we all know, he's not a normal rock guitar player. So he likes to use his modes a lot, especially Lydian. And what I mean by not being a normal guitar player, when he has a diatonic harmony, diatonic progression going on, let's say in C major, he will not just stick just playing C major all over the neck. He will actually play different scales for different chords. And like I said, he especially likes this Lydian a lot. The other thing he likes to use a lot is the pentatonic scale. But again, he doesn't do it in the normal fashion. You won't just get normal blues licks from him. He likes to use a little cool pentatonic trick that a lot of jazz guys actually like to use, where you can play 3 different pentatonic scales over just one chord. And since he is Mr. Lydian, I'm going to show you guys how to apply this concept over a Lydian chord, or basically just a major 7 chord. In this case, I'm going to be doing it over a major 7 sharp 11. Okay, so here we have that 3 pentatonic scale trick over just one chord. And again, since this is Steve Vai we're talking about, we're doing it over a Lydian chord, which is the F major 7 sharp 11. And over that chord we're going to play F Lydian. And these are the notes within F Lydian, and this is the intervallic makeup of that scale. Now, as for the actual 3 pentatonic scale we can play, of course, the first one we all think about is F major pentatonic. Why? Because this is a major scale, major chord, and of course, major pentatonic from the root. Why? Well, these are the notes, and in relationship to the root of F, these notes constitute this, meaning that this is the actual relationship that the notes have intervallic wise to that scale. So we have the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6th. That's why this scale fits over F Lydian. Next scale we can play over F major 7 sharp 11 comes from the 5th degree of F, which in this case, well, in any case, is C. So these are the actual notes, and this is the intervallic makeup of that scale. So again, you have the 5, the 6, the 7, 2, and 3. 5, 6, 7, 2, and 3. They're all there. Now for the last one, and probably the one we've been waiting for, since it's the one that's going to give us that Lydian sound by just playing major pentatonic scale. This one stems out of the 2nd degree of F. So G, because G is the 2nd degree of F. These are the notes within that actual scale, and this is the intervallic makeup of that scale. Again, compared to the actual Lydian, and the 2, 3, sharp 4, 6, and 7. 2, 3, sharp 4, 6, and 7. Now, the actual theory behind this is you take these 3 pentatonic scales, you mash them up together, and you just get the notes of F Lydian. And that is why you can play these 3 pentatonic scales over just one chord. Alright, now I'm just going to give you guys a quick example of the 3 different pentatonic scale that I talked about over that F major 7 sharp 11 chord. Here we go. I'm going to start with the F, go over to the C, and then finish over at G, and then just mix them up together. Here we go. This is F. on to the next section, which is phrasing. And as I've said before, this is probably the most important part of any player's actual playing. So let's get to it real quick. First thing I want to point out is his smooth pentatonic runs. If you notice, when he does his pentatonic licks or runs, or as whatever you want to call it, it's usually up or down the whole scale, or at least 5 notes of the scale, and he ends up with a slide to a different note. Also, he likes to use a lot of slides, especially when he's doing like melodies, like phrasing a lot of melodic ideas, musical ideas. The next aspect of his playing I want to touch is he uses different types of vibrato. Again, never using the whole metal, out of control vibrato, but he does tend to get aggressive at times, but always controlled. But yet, when he's playing a melody, he'll just do a little subtle vibrato. Maybe circle the note a little bit. It's almost like, again, coming back to the aggressive style vibrato, it's almost like a pro fighter, I guess, like a pro boxer, where they're using aggression because it's an aggressive sport, but you have to be controlled or else you're gonna get whooped, basically. And then next, you get a lot of fifths in his playing, like going up the neck, just using fifths. Also, he uses a lot of what I like to call short burst arpeggios, which is just 3-string arpeggios, but switching between them, again using slides. And the last aspect I want to touch on is the whammy bar, which I kind of went a little overboard in the actual improv section. But yeah, Steve Vai's an expert with the whammy bar. He can get aggressive with it and get back to the whole clean section, clean playing, always controlling his playing. So these are some of the important points of his phrasing that I like to point out. Now, as to the actual phrasing, let me just give you a couple of examples of the parts that I don't think are self-explanatory. So, the actual pentatonic runs is just something I've been doing throughout the whole video. It's something like this. As you can tell, I'm just going straight down the pentatonic scale. And then at the last note here, I'm just sliding. You're going to apply that to the whole 3 pentatonic scale thing with pretty much just E. So let me give you an example right here. Now, another thing I talked about is the actual fifths thing, which would go a little like this. I'm just going to play over F Lydian here. So. As you can see, not all of them are really fifths, but most of them are, and it gives you a bit of a kind of a symmetrical-ish kind of sound. Just make sure to pick at least twice each note. It'll give you that bit of that sound. And now for the last part I mentioned is the actual short burst arpeggios, which you can play over the pentatonic scales. And what I mean by this is, what I'm going to play is actually just minor 7 arpeggio, but I don't look at it like that. I look at it as the F major pentatonic scale, the G major pentatonic scale, and the C major pentatonic scale. And I just take the top 3 strings of each pattern and I play them as if they were arpeggios, and I switch between them, so I just go. And that's about it. Alright, now to have a clear understanding about what a player's doing, you just gotta remember to listen, watch, and play. By listening, I mean get their records. There's nothing better than just sitting down listening to exactly what they're doing and try to memorize what they're playing. And not even just playing it, just sing it. Something I usually do is I learn the solos just by singing them, even if I cannot actually play them. But whenever I'm in my car traveling or anything, you can hear me singing out the solos to just about every song I like. Next is watch. Just sit down, watch any live footage of the person, any instructional material that the person's put out, basically anything, stuff like this, instructional videos, and then actually play this stuff. Sit down, don't be afraid of tackling pieces of music that might seem like they're too hard for you, because with time you will eventually get it. And then probably the most important thing is just transcribe. Sit down with a piece of music of the person that you want to know what the person's doing, and listen to the harmony, listen to the chords, listen to the bass player, and finally listen to what they're actually doing. Because if you just sit down and figure out a piece of the solo, I mean, you might just get a cool lick out of it, but what's the point if you don't know how to use that lick? So by figuring out the chords and the harmony behind what the guy's doing, you can actually apply it to your playing. But yeah, thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Don't be shy to comment below if you have any questions about the actual video, about any topics, any specific topics in the video, or anything relating to guitar or about me. So yeah, remember to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.